Hello, and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are currently playing through CODA. We left off on a horrifying scene. Kazusa meeting with Setsuna, having the talk, and Kazusa said, I'm going to sacrifice the only thing I have to give, and that is my hands, because I'm a pianist. And then she smashed a glass, and that's all we heard. And then it cut to Haruki finishing his going away party with his coworkers. Now Haruki's arrived home. Let's see how it goes. The sad music. She's so beautiful, though. Kazusa is asleep. She has a concert tomorrow. I can't wake her up today of all days. If she's sleeping in her own apartment, that'd be fine, but if she's in my...
Kazusa! Oi! Nani yatten da yo, omae?
Look at that wispy breath. That's very unhealthy. This was no time to think of being delicate in my phrasing. Kazusa was indeed asleep. Outside.
明日コンサートだってのに投資する気か。もう、わけわかんないことしないでくれよ。
おかえり、春樹。
Kazusa completely ignores my clumsy outburst and smiles at me gently. An expression that radiates loneliness and pain.
鍵、どっかに落としたか？
ああ、持ってる。どっちの部屋のも。
じゃあ、なんで入ってないんだよ。あとは鍵外してドア開けるだけだろ。どんだけ物臭なんだよ。
Oh, Haruki thinking this is out of pure laziness.
それは、どうしても春樹の顔見たくなっちゃってさ。
明日そっちに顔出すって言ったろ。
なるべく早く、とにかく可能な限り早くお前に会いたかったんだよ。
カズさ。
I certainly could sense that her feelings came from a desire to be spoiled by me. But her voice isn't just conveying her desire to be spoiled. Something completely different is spreading across her expression.
手出せ。立つんだよ。ほら。
いや、いいよ。自分で立てるよ。
Without even attempting to grab my outstretched hand, she sits completely still. She said she wanted to see me, yet here I am, and the uncertainty and bitterness in her eyes still have not gone away.
どうしたんだよ、本当に。
それは。
Almost as if trying to get away from my hands, she puts her own hands behind her back and hides them between herself and the wall. Her behavior was unreasonable as always, yet my intoxication did away with any patience left in me.
風邪ひくだろ。意味もなくすねるのもいい加減にしろ。
やめろ。
I kneel in front of her, wrap my hands around her back, almost as if embracing her, and feel for her hands. She resisted, of course, but compared to the strength of a man, or the strength that anyone at all, considering the state she's in.
なんだよ、これ。
Eventually, I grab onto her hands and let out an anguished expression.
まるで凍ってるみたいじゃないか。こんなんで明日ピアノ弾けるのかよ。お前、本当に何考えて。
なんで5体満足なんだろうな。私。
And then she mutters something incomprehensible. Kazusa's hands were incredibly cold, but like always, they were thin, white, and smooth. Of course you have to point that out because the game really throws you for a run there. glass him.
お客様、すいません、グラスを落としてしまって今片付けますから。いえ、こちらで片付けますからお手を触れないように。
Setsuna is too nice for her own good, seriously.
本当にごめんなさい。出ようか、カズさん。
刹那。なんで？
What do you mean, why? Like, literally someone steals your fiance from you and you're like, it's okay, I'll just like wreck my hand. What? That doesn't give her man back. That doesn't solve any of her problems. All it might do is maybe absolve you of some guilt. Which it shouldn't, but it might.
なんで止めるんだよ。私、お前の幸せぶち壊したんだぞ。人生狂わせたんだぞ。しかもこれで2回目なんだぞ。刹那と春樹のこと邪魔ばかりしてたんだぞ。不倶戴天の敵なんだぞ。
The worst enemy. That's so sad.
少しは恨みを晴らそうとか思わないのかよ。私を同じ目に合わせようとか考えないのかよ。
わからない。私、まるで理解してなかった。カズさんの言ってること何も頭に入ってなかったんだよ。本当にどうでもよかったんだ。
じゃあなんで？
だからわからないんだよ。気がついたら振り払ってた。あなたの愚かな真似を必死で止めてた。私には関係ないはずだったのに。
I mean, it kind of would have. You two were intrinsically linked through Haruki, for better or worse.
刹那。
なんで、どうして私。
刹那、お前は。
違う。
やっぱりお前はさ、こんなにもさ。
言わないで。わからない。私には何もわからない。自分のこともハルク君のこともカズさんのことも、もう何もかもわからないんだよ。
She's losing it. This poor girl.
ハルキ、ハルキ、ハルキ。ごめん、私。今はそんなにしがみつくなよ。俺、酒臭いだろ。刹那を壊しちゃった。なのに、お前のこと守ろうとして余計に傷つけて。カズさん。
No matter how many times I tell her to get off me or try to push her away, she ignores me completely and rubs her face against my chest. Almost as if trying to keep the smell of me from escaping, including the smell of alcohol. Honestly, that's the last thing on her mind.
私、バカだ。何を今さら。言うな。
Kazusa went to see Setsuna in secret. It seems because she saw how I was suffering from the ordeal with Setsuna, she tried to go out to protect me herself. That sounds exactly like her. A thoughtless, rash, and pointless action.
許されるとは思ってなかった。それでも謝りたかった。償いたかった。話をしたかったんだよ。そっか。
She's so silly. Obviously, they'd both just end up getting hurt. Yeah, I don't think there's really a future where they could have that talk and be like, it's fine. Like, what did you expect to happen, honestly? Yet, the idea of saving me completely took control of her. She did something that had no meaning at all for Setsuna, but something that meant all the world to herself.
でもセツナは私のせいでセツナは
もう泣くな。
In the end, she only made things worse for Setsuna. It was plain as day from the start that Setsuna would completely break down. Oh.
お前はバカなんだからさ。
Now, this is an interesting panel, I guess I would say, an art panel, just because Setsuna lays in the exact same way in one of the other panels on top of Haruki like this. It's like to a T, the same exact pose. So kind of interesting, the stylistic choice there. Kind of sad.
あれこれ考えたっていい解決法なんか浮かぶわけないんだからさ。それどころか事態を引っかき回すだけなんだからさ。こういうことに関しては本当に役立たずなんだからさ。
He's so rude.
お前本当のことだからって何もそんなめちゃくちゃに言うことないだろ。
お前がめちゃくちゃなことするからだろ。あまりにもバカなこと考えるからだろ。
The more I lecture her, the more absurd her actions seem.
俺なんかのためにピアノを捨てるとか捨てないとか本当にもうバカすぎて目が離せないだろ。
And right before the day of the concert, of all days.
だって大事なんだよ。それくらいお前のことが大切なんだってば。
But that's the thing about this rash decision. I don't like it when Haruki calls Kazusa an idiot, but it didn't make any sense. She wanted to give up the piano for Setsuna to, like, compensate her for taking everything, but now she's saying she wanted to do it for Haruki, to prove her love for Haruki. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's just being eaten so bad by guilt that she's confused. And even though her hands were spared, I still have doubts if she can play tomorrow from the pure psychological stress.
大事なものを手に入れるために大事なものを捨てなくちゃならないなんて考えこそ捨てろ。
春樹。
I have some words about her overestimating herself, but right now I won't touch on any subject heavy in emotion. If I do, I'll be the one to break down.
ただお前が幸せになるためにピアノがいるなら残せ。いらないなら捨ててもいいよ。
Because even now, the warmth of Kazusa's skin, her softness, her sweet smell, light up my senses all in harmony.
わかんない。まだ私わかんないよ。
That warm breath touches my chest, and I find it even harder to restrain myself.
生まれてきた時からずっとそばにあったんだ。人生の半分以上の時間をこいつと過ごしてきたんだ。お前よりもずっと長い時間一緒だったんだ。
It's probably not Kazusa's intention to make me feel that way. I'm making a big deal out of it by myself, but it's still cruel.
それにお前のことだけじゃなくて母さんの堂間陽子のこととか本当にいろいろ。
だったら結論は先送りにしてもいい。向こうに帰ってしばらくゆっくりして時間をかけて決めればいい。
Doing my best to prevent my inner conflict from becoming apparent to her, I slacken the muscles in my arms and pull Kazusa toward my chest. I feel her warmth and allow myself to be restrained.
でもだからこそ明日だけは何もかも忘れて思いっきり弾いてこい。
春樹
That's a lot to try to forget about in one day, though.
最高のステージを見せてやるよ。そして日本の観客にさよならしてこい。
In my arms, I feel Kazusa growing warmer.
弾くよ。私弾いてみせる。お前がいれば何も怖いことなんて。
ああ、頑張れよ。
だから明日のコンサート、そしてこれからもずっと私のことを見守っていてくれよ。今何時
？3時。そろそろ寝ろ。
God, these poor White Album 2 characters are all so sleep deprived. It is so bad for your health.
じゃあおやすみ。
おやすみ。なあ、
もう寝ろよ。
私はこうして春樹に抱きしめてもらって傷を治すことができる。落ち込んでも立ち直ることができる。
これからもずっとそうする。もう寂しい思いは。
刹那は、あいつはこれからどうやって傷を癒していくんだろうな。
Oh, that's not a good question to be asking right now.
あいつ、私のせいであんなに傷ついてた。なのに心の中は何も変わってなかった。
そっか。
無意識に私のこといじめるくせに、いざって時にどうしようもないくらい自分を殺してしまう。壊れるのも構わずにさ。強くて人のこと何でも見透かしてて、逃げ道を塞いで常に先手を打って、だからすごく苦手でちょっと嫌で羨ましくて憧れてて、でもあいつ最後の最後でどうしようもなく優しくて、見誤って手を離して足を止めて、だからやっぱり憎めなくて好きだった。
It's just so unfortunate how things turned out because they really could have become lifelong friends. And it's like, once those lines are crossed that could never be crossed, you can't uncross them. They shouldn't have been crossed in any case.
もういい。もういいんだ。
そうだよ。好きだったんだよ。刹那のこと。春樹が。お前さえいなければ、私たち本当の親友になれたかもしれないのに。
ごめんな。ごめん。
お前がいなければ、そもそも私たち出会うこともなかったもんな。
Another fair point. But it just goes to show like how many paths in life we all have and how brief the coincidences are that lead us to these lifelong friendships, lifelong relationships, betrayals, and what have you.
カズさん。
お前が私と刹那をつないだ。そしてお前のせいで断ち切られた。恨むよ。
ああ、一生恨め。
いいんだな。一生言い続けるんだぞ、私。ことあるごとに持ち出すんだぞ。お前のそばでずっとずっと。
その代わり俺も遠慮せずに言い返すからな。そうやっていつまでも喧嘩していこう。
春樹。
おやすみ。
あ、おやすみ。
That's right. Let's bicker. As many times as it takes. Let's overwhelm ourselves in a love so powerful that we can get hurt, quarrel, and get sick of each other, and still go on despite that. Oh no. That's so painful. Poor Setsuna. God, Setsuna.
.陽子さんはこっちですね。で、高柳先生は奥にお願いします。
なんか穏やかじゃない排斥ね。
Haruki doesn't make anything pleasant for anyone. There's only 30 minutes before the concert. The VIP seats were almost completely empty compared to the regular ones.
穏やかじゃない状態の人に言われたくありません。今日はおとなしく男2人にエスコートされてください。
両手に花だなんて羨ましい限りじゃないか、陽子ちゃん。若い男と比較される僕としては面白くないけど。
He's cute. He's a cute doctor. As expected, Yoko-san didn't have the kind words to say about being dragged by the underarm to her seat, almost like a sick person. Not to say that she isn't sick.
すいません先生。お忙しいのに無理をお願いして。
無理なわけないでしょ。とっくの昔に隠居した猛録医者のくせに。
まあ照れ隠しの憎まれ口はともかく娘の春姿を何としても見たいという陽子ちゃんの親心もわからないでもないしね。守りに入っちゃったなとは思うけど。
照れ隠しとかどこまで自分に都合のいい解釈なんだか。俺だから還暦過ぎた年寄りは嫌なのよ。昨日失ったくせに気持ちだけはいやらしいんだから。
She's so blunt. She's so blunt and just cheese him.
興奮しないでください。あまり暴れると開演前につまみ出しますからね。
Haruki's holding the band hammer. He's ready. The intensity of their verbal battle didn't suggest that she had gone a bit safe at all. or that he couldn't get it up anymore.
とにかく今日はおとなしくしてなさい。少しでも具合が悪そうに見えたら容赦なくベッドに押し倒すからね。
Oh god.
させないわよ、そんなこと。だいたい私の具合が悪いと思ったらこの場で点滴でも何でもするのが医者ってものでしょ。
陽子さん。
あまりわがまま言わないようにね。他のお客さんもいるんだから。
Yet, behind Yoko-san's attitude lie feelings that only I could see. There was a disconnect between them. After all, Takayanagi-sensei doesn't know that this could very well be the last time Yoko-san could hear her daughter perform live. I look around and see that the seats are about 70% full. Whether this is a good amount or not is impossible to judge for someone who doesn't normally attend piano concerts. But considering all the noise that was made when the tickets were still on sale, I doubt the beginning of the concert will be a quiet one. I don't want to think about it that much, but perhaps this is the result of the mediocre reception that the last concert got.
ギターくん。
はい。
Perhaps she had enough of me looking around the theater restlessly, thinking about things I shouldn't.
あの子のところ顔出してこないの？あなたは確かまだよね。
Yoko-san interrupts me, but probably with the best intentions in mind.
開演前ギリギリだと入れてもらえなくなるわよ。早いところ行ってらっしゃいな。
でもいいんですか？俺なんかが。
Go cheer her on. The time right before the performance is probably the most nerve-wracking, so to go support her now is probably best.
楽屋前で張ってるのがミオちゃんだから大丈夫よ。それにあの子があなたに閉ざす扉はもうないわ。
陽子さん。
開演前に王子様のキスでもプレゼントしてあげたら？あの子ものすごくテンション上がるかもよ。
そういうのはうまく弾けた時のご褒美に出し惜しみしておくべきじゃないのかね。
すぐ戻ってきます。本当にすぐですから。何もないですから。
Remaining stubborn with her, or being forced to sit by and watch these two restless adults go after each other, was far too unbearable to me. So I got off my seat and left. When I woke up this morning, Kazusa muttered, "Good morning" to me, with her face still buried in my chest, as if waiting for me to wake up. Her expression was sleepy, calm, and very relaxed. It was definitely not the look of a musician with a concert to perform the same day. It's been half a day since then. I wonder if she was focusing properly. Did she get back that look that tells me she's prepared for battle? It's not like I can advise her on anything, but if I can improve her mood somehow. Or maybe I'll be able to put my own mind at ease by seeing her face. And just before I started to open the door to the dressing room, a loud ringing came from my phone, which I forgot to turn off. The moment my phone rang, my first thought was that of relief that it didn't ring while I was still in my seat in front of everyone. But once I saw the name displayed on the screen, a name so utterly out of place for the present situation, that feeling of relief disappeared in an instant.
はい。
あなた、今どこにいる？
Okay. I hate this. Before we get into this, because it's, well, obviously big, and you could probably imagine what's about to go down, we're going to stop there for today. So, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of CODA. Everything is finally drawing to a conclusion. We've still got a little ways to go, but we're getting there. So, I'll see you on the next part. Until then, hope you take care. See you!